Imagine your money is a dashboard with clean dials, a speedometer, a fuel gauge, warning lights, everything. It looks modern, it looks under control, except one button is wired backwards. You press the gas, the needle climbs, you feel like you're moving forward, but the fuel is leaking underneath the car. If you watch this all the way through, you'll get a clear map to build wealth over time, understand how the economy quietly steers people, and avoid the most common money traps. No, get rich quick. Just a way to stop getting drained without noticing. There's a number most people never calculate, because once you see it, sleep gets harder. It's not your annual salary, not your monthly pay, not your raise. It's what one real hour of your life is actually worth after everything gets subtracted. The obvious stuff and the stuff you refuse to count. The scary part is, a lot of people are selling an hour of their life for far less than they think. Now, picture a familiar evening. It's late in the week, you're on the train or stuck in traffic, your hands are doing the driving, but your brain is done. You get home and the idea of cooking feels like climbing a mountain. Not because you're lazy, but because your battery is empty. So you open a delivery app, tap something random, add fees, add tip, add a couple small charges, and the total lands heavier than it should. You tell yourself you earned it. You worked all week. It's a reward, a little relief, the kind of thing people joke about as dopamine spending, buying a quick feeling of being alive. But here's the twist. You didn't just buy dinner. You bought numbness, a short escape from the feeling of being used up. The problem is, you never see the real receipt. The real receipt is made of costs that don't show up on one neat line, but they still subtract from your life every day. It's gas, transit passes, work clothes, professional haircuts, coffees to survive the afternoon meeting, lunches because you ran out of time. It's money you spend to tolerate the job, not money you spend to live. I know that sounds dark. This isn't a lecture, and it's not financial advice. It's an entertainment-style audit of your life, so you can see what's usually blurred out. You don't need to be smarter than anyone. You just need to look in the right place. We were sold a clean story from the moment we graduated. Your value equals your salary. $65,000 a year sounds respectable. It sounds like adulthood. It sounds like you're doing fine. Divide it out and it looks like about 31 an hour, and that feels solid. But any business owner will tell you something cold. Revenue means nothing without expenses. A bakery can sell $1 million of bread, and if flour, rent, staff, and utilities swallow $1 million, that bakery isn't winning, it's barely breathing. With our own lives, we stare at the revenue, our salary, and forget the cost of producing it. Now let's do the simplest audit possible. Your contract says $30 an hour, but before that money even reaches you, taxes and mandatory deductions take a bite. People accept that part because it's visible, it's expected, it's written down. The more painful part is what nobody frames as business expenses. Costs that exist only because you have that job. If you didn't have to commute, would you need the same car, the same insurance, the same fuel burn? If you didn't have to show up in an office, would you buy the same wardrobe, the same shoes, the same dry cleaning? That's not spending to live. That's spending to qualify for work. Then comes the soft fee that looks harmless and adds up fast. You buy lunch because you couldn't prep. You buy coffee because your eyes won't stay open. You take rides because you're late, or it's raining, or you can't handle one more packed train. None of that builds your future. It just keeps you functioning. And now the darkest category, the one people avoid saying out loud. The money you spend to recover from the job. A Friday bar tab, a weekend trip booked on impulse, a shopping spree that feels like self-care, therapy, because the pressure won't leave your chest. I'm not judging, because if you're forced to run all week, you'll buy anything that makes you feel human again. Add it all up, and your salary starts to look like a mirage. You thought you earned $65,000, but what you truly keep for your life, not for your job, can be far less. And we still haven't touched the most dangerous part, because wages are not just money, they're money divided by time. You think you work 40 hours a week. On paper, sure. In real life, you wake up early to get ready, to look presentable, to become the version of you that your workplace will accept. You commute there, you commute back, and nobody pays you for that time. Even your lunch break isn't really yours. You can't go home, you can't rest properly, you can't live your real life. you're just paused in a holding area. Then, you get home, and you still don't feel like yourself. You need time to decompress, to stop hearing the day in your head, to stop being sharp with the people you love, to stop checking messages just in case. That's shadow labor. Unpaid, uncounted, but real. If the job didn't exist, that time wouldn't be taken from you. So a week isn't 40 hours. It can be 55, it can be 60, depending on distance, stress, and what the job drags home with you. When you take the money you truly keep and divide it by the hours your life truly gets locked into work, the number can get scary fast. $30 an hour on paper turns into 12, 9, sometimes lower, when the city is expensive and the pressure is high. Not because you're worthless, but because your model has a terrible profit margin. This is why so many people feel trapped. They're busier every year, especially since late 2025, but their savings barely move. They assume the problem is income. Sometimes the problem is leakage. Here's a simple mental move. Next time you see something that costs $100, don't read it as $100. Read it as hours of your life, priced at your real hourly rate, not your paper rate. If your real rate is $10, that item costs 10 hours of commuting, meetings, stress, and recovery. When you see prices that way, something changes. A lot of products start to look uglier. Not because you're cheap, but because you finally see the hidden exchange. Modern consumer culture depends on you not translating money into time. And here's a piece most people don't say plainly. Your phone isn't just a store, it's a machine that injects tiny rewards into your brain. One scroll, one discount, one limited stock banner, one short video, and you buy when you're tired. When you're exhausted, you don't buy because you need it. You buy because you want relief for 10 seconds. Work takes your energy, the algorithm takes your money, and you call it freedom. There's also a trap that sounds glamorous. The promotion trap. More money feels like winning, but if it comes with longer hours, higher image costs, more eating out, more travel, more stress, your real hourly rate can actually fall. You push more cash through your account, but you keep less, and you trade away more of your life to get it. If this makes you uncomfortable, that's the correct reaction. Not to crush you, but to wake you up. In the next part, I'll show you a simple way to calculate your real hourly rate without complex spreadsheets. I'll also show small, sharp moves that raise that number without waiting for a raise. And then we'll lock it in with one habit that changes how you buy, how you work, and how you live. You're now at the part most people skip because it's blunt. Once you see the leaks, the next question is obvious. What do I do? And how do I stop getting drained in silence? I'm going to give you a simple calculation you can do in one calm evening and a new metric that reshapes your decisions. If this hits you, please like, subscribe, and follow. This is a new channel, and that signal decides whether these kinds of videos survive. Forget your annual salary for a moment. Forget the emotional story of I worked hard, so I deserve it, just for a second. We're looking for one number, your real hourly rate, after the job's costs are removed and the job's hidden time is added. This number isn't meant to shame you, it's a thermometer, so you know whether your life is overheating. Start with money and use the number you actually keep, not the number that looks good on paper. Look at what truly lands in your account across a year, after taxes and deductions. Then subtract the costs that exist only because you have the job. It doesn't need to be perfect down to the cent. It needs to be honest. Here's the psychological trick that stops self-deception. Don't label it living expenses. Label it accurately, costs of working. Same money, different truth. The moment you name it correctly, you start noticing how many charges you've been forgiving because they felt normal. Now, the time side, the part that collapses the illusion. Take your contracted work hours and add prep time in the morning, commuting time, the hours you're stuck near work, even if you're off the clock, and the time you need to recover after you get home. People resist this because they want that time to feel personal. But if the job didn't exist, would that time still be taken from you? If not, it's work-owned time, even if nobody pays for it. Now combine it. Real money kept, divided by real hours committed. That's your real hourly rate. Some people will see 12, some will see 9, some will see 7. If you live in a high-cost city with long commutes and high stress, the number might make you go quiet for a minute. That silence isn't defeat, it's clarity. From this point, you stop asking, how do I raise my salary? You start asking, how do I raise my real hourly rate? Those two questions are not the same. A higher salary can demand more hours and more expenses. A higher real hourly rate can come from small, cold, efficient moves. Move 1 is cutting invisible hours. If you can work from home 1 or 2 days a week, you're not only saving on gas or transit, you're buying back time, energy, and the ability to cook, train, and sleep properly. And when you sleep properly, you spend less money trying to numb yourself. That's the chain reaction most people never price in. Move 2 is blocking tired spending. This is the modern trap, because platforms know exactly when you're depleted, and they show you products at that moment. You don't need to ban shopping. You need a rule that's colder than your feelings. No buying after 9 p.m. No buying on your worst stress day. And anything above $100 waits 24 hours. You'll be shocked how many needs disappear after one night of sleep. Your brain doesn't crave the item, it craves relief. A delay separates relief from purchasing. That one gap raises your real hourly rate without you earning a single extra dollar. Move 3 is turning food into a pay raise. It sounds silly, but it's real. If you prep a few simple meals, you save money. But you also save decision energy. A tired brain buys, fewer decisions means fewer leaks. Move 4 is seeing the luxury loop for what it is. Work drains you. You buy expensive things to feel compensated. Your costs rise. You need the job more. The job drains you harder. It's like pouring water into a bucket with a hole, and every upgrade quietly makes the hole bigger. You don't need more water. You need a bucket that doesn't leak. Here's a truth that deserves a clean sentence. Some people aren't broke because they don't earn enough. They're broke because they pay rent on their attention. They pay with scrolling, with comparison, with a constant feeling of not enough, engineered by feeds and ads. When you always feel behind, you always buy something to patch the feeling, and that becomes a psychological tax no one prints on a receipt. So the goal isn't to turn you into someone afraid to spend. The goal is to make you high margin. A strong business isn't the one that earns the most, it's the one that keeps the most after costs. Your life works the same way. If you earn a lot, but spend nearly all of it and have no time left to live, you're running a machine that will burn out. If you earn less but keep more, and you still have time to learn, move, rest, and build, you're winning. That's what wealth over time actually looks like. Quiet, stable, and compounding. Now the exercise, and I want you to do it when you're fresh, not at midnight when you're numb. Pick a weekend morning, write down 3 numbers. Real money kept in a year after work costs, real hours committed including commute and recovery, and then your real hourly rate, number 1 divided by number 2. Put that number somewhere you'll see it. A note on your phone, a sticky in your wallet, a line on your lock screen. Next time you want to buy something random, don't ask, is it worth it? Ask the colder question. How many hours of my life is this? When the answer is 4 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours, your hand slows down. Not from fear, from respect for your own time. We're entering an era where time is the real currency. People with money buy time back. People without money often sell time cheap, then spend what little they have to buy a few minutes of relief. If you only remember one line from this video, remember this. Don't sell your time at a deep discount just because you never calculated the real price. If you want more videos like this, the kind that exposes traps without talking down to you, hit like, subscribe, and follow. And comment the word Adit, so I know you made it to the end. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.